Good evening, I'm back. I'm your host, Jack Remington, of the Jack Remington NFL channel. Sorry about this temporary studio arrangement. This is not really a studio. Technically, it's a classroom. Anyway, I botched my Cincinnati video. The graphics didn't take. I'm using someone else's computer. The only thing I'm using is my own uniform and my own cell phone. Everything else belongs to other people, and I messed up on the video editing. I had to do it a third time. I feel like an idiot. But I'm working on getting my room straightened back up. I'll be back here soon, don't worry. So let's talk about the second game this weekend. It's a game that I will have a pick, and I will have some money on this game. And that game is the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. Okay, let's get to it. This is the rubber match. They both swap victories at their enemy's territory, so to speak. But New England has a habit of doing that. Before Bill Belichick's time, for some reason, they have a way of getting a lot of road wins. Their records: Buffalo's 11-6, New England 10-7. Against the spread, New England 10-7, Buffalo 9 wins, 6 losses, and 2 pushes. Over under, New England 9-8-0, or Buffalo's 8-9-0. So let's just call that even. Away, Buffalo is 5 wins, 3 losses. New England is 6 wins and 2 losses. Home games, New England is 4 wins, 5 losses. They lost their first 4 home games, and I was ragging on Bill Belichick myself for that. Buffalo is 6-3 at home. So I want to go and say it one more time that let me match this up a little better. The away record for New England is 6 wins and 2 losses, and the home team, Buffalo Bills, their home record is 6 wins and 3 losses. So something's got to give. Okay, it's supposed to be colder than you know what. Right now the wind is 5.1 mile per hour. I'm under the. Oh, here we go. It's 4 degrees Fahrenheit right now at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo. It's supposed to get worse Saturday, and I'm filming Thursday. I'm going to try to get this out tomorrow. I got 2 technicians coming tomorrow. One's going to work on my roof, and one's going to work on my security system. So I gotta have my security system in there. It's my eBay office too. I don't want to have everything I've worked since I was a small boy. You just get taken away one night because the alarm didn't work. That would be a really bad beat. You know, my friend I talked to on the phone, he's the only person I talked to on the phone, my very close friend. He's 84 years old. He is a semi-retired, semi-pro NFL handicapper. He will not let me use his name, but if I come up next year, he might let me get some photos with him and do a little bit of interviewing in the room and everything else. I got some big plans for this channel, and I'll see if I can, warm him up a little bit. We'll get to that later. But he called me and told me that this game was Buffalo minus 4.5, and it didn't last 10 minutes. People were on New England, from what he told me. And he has never fudged, never exaggerated, never inched, never pushed the envelope on playing a little paper football. None of that. This guy's pretty direct. He says what he means, and he means what he says. And he said he thought it looked like to him a sharp move. The pros and Joes, he thinks the pros jumped on this thing, but not too much handle so far from what he was telling me. This game's not getting that much action right yet. So right now it's Buffalo minus 4, $1.10 standard both sides. The total under 44. If you want that, it's minus 105. If you want the over 44, it's $1.15. A little strange. The first game was 14-10. That win game, which Bill Belichick, he outplayed and outcoached Sean McDermott, which I expect. Money line, if you want the New England Patriots right now on the odds from PointsBet, and when I get this video up tomorrow, this thing might change. My Cincinnati game changed. If you want the money line Patriots, plus 165. If you want Buffalo, minus 200. It's kind of high for a 4-point spread. All right, moving moving down the line here. Buffalo's got the number 1 ranked defense, 272.8 yards per game. However, the Patriots have the number 4 ranked defense, 310 yards per game. 38 yard difference or 35 yards per game difference. Now, offense, New England's ranked 15. Buffalo's ranked number 5. That's a big difference. Okay, moving down here. The turnovers and takeaways, New England is ranked 17th. And Buffalo is ranked 16th, so there's not much edge there. The money, according to OddsBet, money looks like the Bills are getting the money 59% to 41%. Okay, but the team leaders, New England's got a 6-point edge. Scrolling down a little bit further, let's take a look at the injury report. Buffalo only has 6 players. Now, I believe this is the shortest one on all the playoff games. So we're looking at the healthiest team in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills. Well, I think, the healthy team, you got to factor that in. Let's take a look at the Patriots. They got 28 people on their injured list. Jeez. That's for offensive defense and some backup special team people. Think about that. Jamie Collins Sr., the very first one, linebacker, questionable ankle. Collins Sr. has an ankle ailment and is up in the air if he will take the field for the AFC wildcard game versus the Bills. If he doesn't play, it's a huge edge for the Bills. Josh Allen's going to have a lot more freedom to move around. Jamie Collins Sr., he's got to make it. Cornerback, Jalen Mills, he's out indefinitely. Sam using somebody's computer, and the whole thing just flashed on me. And this is a big. These top 3 on this injury list for the Patriots, it really doesn't look good. Okay, we got Jacoby Myers. He's a pretty good receiver. Wasn't he their number 1 draft pick? Well, anyway, Myers, probable. Myers is hampered by a thigh injury, but it's expected that he will participate in the AFC wildcard game versus the Bills. So the rest easy there. That would have been a huge loss if he's out. A couple of players down. The defensive lineman, Lawrence Guy. It's a beast, this guy. On to Hightower, questionable knee. Hightower is dealing with a knee ailment and is yet to be established if he will partake in the AFC wildcard game versus the Bills. If he doesn't play, Josh Allen's going to run wild on him. And he's probably their best pure pass rusher. Their pass rusher is not all that great per se. Look, on the Buffalo side, they only got 6 players to talk about. I don't recognize. Oh, here we go. Here's one name that sticks out to me. Emmanuel Sanders. Pretty good ball player. And let me throw this out here to remind people what kind of a handicapper I really am. The best teams that make it to the NFL. You don't hear about this, or if you do, they're one and done and then they're gone and you forget about it. Your nephew and your cousin and your uncle or your whatever, your nephew from blood, second removed, third cousin, whatever, foreign country, they may get them a workout for their family influence, and you can buy coaches and you can do all this other stuff and you can donate to the team or buy tickets or whatever. Yeah, you're gonna get some guy in there and they'll get them a couple tries, but they don't make it. The cream rises to the top. These guys are the best of the best. All right. Emmanuel Sanders, I think he's a top 10 NFL receiver. Sanders is battling a knee injury, but is expected that he will be in the lineup for the AFC wildcard battle with the Patriots. But is he 100%? Or the players talk about the Patriots, are they going to be 100%? Head to head. They keep beating each other at the other stadium. 18 of 20 years when Bill Belichick was head coach, he won the AFC East 18 times. It's not a typo, 18 times. I think one year he clinched the division when they were 10 and 1, either 10 and 0 or 10 and 1. They clinched the division like the first week of November or something. Miami, the Jets, and Buffalo. I don't think either one had won 3 games. I mean, New England just beat slapped the NFL for all those years. Buffalo has gone all in, and I got other videos talking about Buffalo. The news columns come out and thinks that the window's closing. They did what the Washington Redskins did in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. They invested too much. They went all in, but Joe Gibbs got them 3 Super Bowls, so it kind of worked out. Buffalo doesn't have any yet, so Buffalo's getting some criticism, but I think it's unfair. But for this wild card matchup, we're not going to worry too much about that. I'm just trying to tell you that I do know something about the teams. Disclaimer, I am a New England Patriot fan. Bigger disclaimer, the true disclaimer, I am a Bill Belichick fan, and I have been since he was with the Giants because I like defense. He used to train and have to mentor Lawrence Taylor. Now, I know you know who Lawrence Taylor is. Think Joe Theismann on Monday Night Football when he went to tackle him and broke Joe Theismann's leg. That Lawrence Taylor, okay? The guy's a leg breaker. Exploits on the field. He may be a chatterhead off the field, but I can't help that. But now Buffalo is kind of caught, and people think they have passed New England. Okay, but this year, the teams were sitting, I think New England was a third of the season gone. New England was sitting 2 wins and 4 losses, and Buffalo was 6 and 0 or 6 and 1, something like that. And it looked like that Buffalo's going to run away with the division. Miami started losing their games. The Jets, Jets, just end the season. No one paid attention to them. But did they finish last? Well, it doesn't matter. But New England went on that big 7-game winning streak, and they looked invincible. Matter of fact, at one point, and they beat a team that we'll talk about in a second here. They did something that Buffalo couldn't do. They slayed Tennessee, and they looked good doing it. I mean, they beat Tennessee's ass. Buffalo couldn't do it. but New England sure did. So now we're going to talk about some scheduling here. I know I was very harsh, unfairly on New England because they lost their first 4 home games. Miami Dolphins 17-16, but they fumbled on the 8-yard line with 33 seconds. They were setting up for a field goal to ice the game, and the guy fumbles the ball. Bill Belichick teams rarely fumbled the football. There was one year when New England was 14-2. They lost 1 fumble all year when they won the Super Bowl. Lost 1 fumble. I mean, that's just amazing. No one wants to talk about that though. They were at the Jets. They beat the Jets 25-6 in their second September 26th, game number 3, their second home game. The Saints, they lost 13-28, and they looked terrible. I don't think they were competitive in that game. And here comes Tampa Bay. And in the first half, I thought they were horrible. They couldn't do anything right. They actually did take a 7-3 lead, and they were winning at the halftime. But they didn't look good at all. They had sacked Mac Jones 3 times in the first half. They got him once in the second half, but they only got Tom Brady 1 time, 1 sack for 8 yards. They picked off Mac Jones twice, and New England lost a fumble, and they had 8 penalties for 77 yards. Uncharacteristic, undisciplined Bill Belichick team. They missed a field goal, but Tampa missed a field goal as well. Possession, I mean, Tampa Bay was killing them with time of possession, but they came back and they made a game out of it. They took the lead 14-13 at the start of the fourth quarter, but then Tampa kicked the field goal. And New England kicked the field goal, and Tampa iced it with 2 minutes, $1.57 left in the game, 19-17. And I think he sacked Mac Jones in the next series, and that was it. They didn't look good at all. So then they're at Houston, and Houston's beating their ass. Okay, so they're sitting 1 win, 3 losses. They're 1 win. They beat the hapless Jets. Okay, but they're 1-3. 0-3 at home. Like they were losing 15-9 at halftime, and they had to sneak in a field goal with 2 seconds left, a 52-yard field goal with 2 seconds left. I mean, I remember that. I mean, I thought they were lucky to get that field goal. They shouldn't have got that. They shouldn't have got that playoff. And to start the third quarter, the Texans scored a touchdown right at the gate. It was 22-9. I thought the game was over. Nope. Field goal. The fourth quarter touchdown. Henry, 13 yards passing from Mac Jones. And tied it up. This is a Nick Folk kick, and they kicked the field goal with 15 seconds left to squeak out a tough win at the Houston Texans. Houston Texans passed for 293 yards on New England's so-called great defense. They did sack Mac Jones 1 time, and they sacked Houston 3 times for 19 yards. They both lost fumbles, and they both had a lot of penalties, although Houston was a little bit worse. And Houston missed a field goal. It cost them the game, didn't it? They're supposed to be so much better in class in this team. So now we're sitting at 2 wins and 3 losses. Here comes the Dallas Cowboys in town, and they're looking pretty awesome. Dallas, I mean, you got to admit, no matter if you like them or not, America's team or not, they were smoking. I mean, they were just on fire early in the season. And Dallas made such enough impression on me. I called them a Super Bowl winner. I made them the first ranked team, and I dropped Green Bay to number 2 in my power rankings. I didn't talk much about this season, and that's for a reason. New England started out, they scored 7-0, up 7-0. I was feeling pretty good. And then, of course, Dallas tied it a couple minutes later, and then New England went ahead again, 14-7. The second quarter, or the halftime was 14-7 New England. I was feeling pretty good about that game. But here it comes in the third quarter. New England, I mean, the Cowboys just started smoking. They just started destroying them. They wound up in overtime. They scored a touchdown and made 35-29. But Dallas had 32 first downs versus New England 17. They almost doubled their first down, almost doubled their total yardage. Dallas had 445 yards passing versus New England's 215. They didn't get to sack the quarterback not 1 time, but the Cowboys sacked Mac Jones twice for 14 yards. Passing, Mac Jones was 15 for 21. Dallas's passing was 33 for 51. 36 passes completed versus 51 throws. Dallas only punted 1 time, but New England punted 5 times. They couldn't get them off the field. They both lost a fumble. Dallas had 12 penalties for 115 yards. New England had 5 for 47. A little more discipline. That's good. And New England didn't have not 1 field goal attempt. Dallas was 3 for 4. The parts of the game that I do get to watch of that game, I mean, Dallas was in a different class. And I felt bad for New England. I shouldn't feel bad for anybody. But anyway, that was our 4th home game in 6 weeks. And they're sitting at 2 wins and 4 losses. And the 2 teams that they beat were the Jets and Houston. Not looking good. Everybody's writing them off. Then they played the Jets again at home. And some people picked the Jets to upset them. The New England was so shaky. New England picked one of their 250 burgers, and they destroyed the Jets 54-13. I was watching. I thought, my goodness, it's a different team. Then they go to at Los Angeles Chargers, which they were 3.5-point underdogs. They won that one 27-24. I was impressed with that game too. At Carolina, they won 24-6, laying 3.5. And then we're sort of winning all these eight against the spread bets. Cleveland, oh, don't worry, Cleveland's going to get them. Don't worry. But New England was the favorite, about 2.5. And people said, see, the line's so low, they want you to bet New England. Cleveland's going to kill them. Nope. 45-7, Patriots. And the game wasn't as close as the score may even slightly indicate. They sacked Cleveland 5 times versus their 2. Held Cleveland 118 yards passing versus New England's 268. 30 first downs for the Patriots, only 17 for Cleveland. New England only punted 1 time this time, and Cleveland had to punt 4 times. I mean, they just destroyed them. Both you had 6 penalties for 40-some yards. But still, this was a beatdown by the Patriots on these vaunted, overrated Cleveland Browns. They're my poison team, jackasses. But anyway, at Atlanta, 25-0. Okay, I mean, at this point, now people are paying attention to New England. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, folks. Some Orange Crush here. Hosting Tennessee Titans, and they're laying 7.5. But Tennessee lost Derrick Henry, and they're not looking too good. They're a slump. New England looking like it's on fire. They just peeled off 5 wins in a row, 6 out of 7, looking hot. They're ranked number 1 in the AFC at the time. And now the buzz started. Is New England reclaiming the AFC East? And it sure looked like they were. So then they played Tennessee, and they beat them 36-13. The game was not even close, worse than what the score shows. They beat them down. Then they're at Buffalo in that win game, and they won 14-10. Mac Jones throws 3 passes, completes 2 for 3 for whatever, 22 yards, whatever it was. Mac Jones, 19 yards. 2 out of 3 for 19 yards. Josh Allen, 50 for 30, 1 pick. But 50% in the win game is not bad. I don't think Josh Allen played all that bad in that game. New England had 46 rushes for 222 yards in that game, and Buffalo had 25 rushes, 99 yards. Well, Buffalo had 16 first down versus 11. They did miss a field goal late in the game that could have made a difference. And then when Buffalo got the ball back and got them deep in the territory, then they couldn't use another field goal to actually win this game by 2 points. They missed that one. If they make that one field goal, it's 14-13, and they got the ball back later on. You can, in your mind, you might be able to think, well, Buffalo had a shot at it late in the game. Then they win 16-14. That's it's very possible. But then Belichick's going to play his defense a little different too. So you can say, well, yeah, Buffalo would have won the game and made that field goal. Not necessarily, because things change after each sequence causes another sequence. So things happen after the play, after the cards turn on the deck and things like that. Then they're at Indianapolis. They're 1-point dogs, and Indianapolis was the hottest team of football at that time, and they were down 20-0 at halftime. They looked terrible, and they were looking bad. But you know what? They came back in the second half, and a couple penalties here, and a missed field goal there, and they had a block punt in the first half. I mean, there's things that New England could have done. They could have won that game, but that's okay. They lost. Were they looking ahead? Normally, Bill Belichick teams don't look ahead, but they were having the rematch with Buffalo. Buffalo had paid for billboards outside their stadium, and there were a lot of Twitter trash talk, Instagram, and Facebook, and all the social media stuff that I don't pay much attention to. And that's the people keep saying, well, and Buffalo stomped them 33-21. That's not a stomp. It's 5 scores to 3. If it was a baseball game, it would be 5-3, competitive. But I'm going to talk about that game real brief. I'm going to cut a lot of this out because the videos are way too long. New England was 5 for 5. Their first 5 fourth down attempts. At the end of the game, Mac Jones threw a pick or whatever, 4th down, whatever. Yeah. But they were 5-6 for the game. So Belichick started going for 4th down too. But Buffalo did it first. On 4th and 2, instead of kicking the field goal to go up 3-0, Josh Allen rolls out and throws a perfect pass down the center. Perfect pass to McKenzie, 3 yards passing from Josh Allen. That was a great play. Josh Allen has skill. I like Josh Allen as a quarterback. I like the guy. I just like him. I like Josh Allen. I really do. I'm a Josh Allen fan. I don't like the head coach too much, but I like Josh Allen. And I wish him well. Buffalo didn't punt not one time. Buffalo moved that ball. Okay, they didn't lose any fumble. A red zone efficiency. Buffalo was 4 for 7 for 57%. New England was 3 for 3. I want you to remember that. Okay, it looked like New England was, it looked like Buffalo was separating, right? And they were doing their job. But New England pulls close with seven minutes left in the game. Harris with an 8-yard run to pull within 26-21. But they couldn't get the ball back, and Buffalo just run it right down their throat and 33-21. And Buffalo decisively won the game. Okay, and you can see here that they scored 13 points in the fourth quarter, and to ice the game. They beat them the first half 17-7. They beat them the second half 16-14. The total was 33-21. But I'm here to tell you, in this game, I'm going to talk about here right now. And then we're going to talk about Buffalo. I'm going to talk about Buffalo. I mean, they lost at home. Pittsburgh blocked a punt on them. I remember watching that, and they were 6.5 point favorites, and 23-16 they beat them. And then next thing you know, Buffalo they beat Miami 35-0, Washington 43-21, Houston 40-0. So they got 2 shutouts in 4 weeks. That's usually a sign of the Super Bowl winner. When you can ice out 2 shutouts, and I can't go back enough years. I mean, I don't think this has ever happened before. 2 shutouts in the NFL is big in the first 4 games. I don't think it's ever been done before. Let me do some research. At Kansas City, they beat them 38-20, very decisive. At Tennessee, lost 31-34. Miami, they beat Miami for the second time, 26-11, but the game was closer than the score indicated. At Jacksonville, here we go. They lost 9-6. They were a 14.5 point road chalk, lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. One game they had beat the Miami like a couple weeks before that or whatever. They lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars 9-6. Well, they took it out on the Jets. They beat the Jets 45-17 next week at New York. But here comes Indianapolis home, Buffalo, and they lost 41-15. Got destroyed, got stomped. But at least New England's game was a little closer. But they're at New Orleans, and they destroyed New Orleans 31-6, but New Orleans got no quarterback. They got injuries and things like that. And they lost the game to New England at Tampa Bay, another common opponent. And they lost 33-27 in overtime. So they were competitive just like the Patriots were. Carolina, 31-14, comparable to what New England did to them. And they beat New England December 26, week 16. Week 17, they beat Atlanta 29-15. And they close out the game, they eke out a push against the Jets 27-10. What's troubling to me with this Buffalo Bills season schedule is they lost to Jacksonville Jaguars. They got destroyed by the Colts, far worse than what New England did. They had to hang on against Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta was winning the game for some of that game. And they had to hang on against the Jets, too, the last game that they needed to stay ahead of New England. We'll take a look at my notes real quick here. Why I think Bill Belichick deserves Coach of the Year, because he takes what I call 450. Bill Belichick keeps taking these third level 450 type, 470 type, 7-9, 8-9, 7-8-1 teams. He makes them overachieve. He gets every last drop of that nickel, so to speak. He's squeezing the Buffalo nickel. No pun intended against the Buffalo Bills. You squeeze Jefferson and make him cry. The nickel, the coin. But he has a habit of taking unheralded players, no names, and turn them to a championship team. And he keeps doing it year after year after year. Yeah, we all know about Tom Brady, and we're not going to waste time talking about Tom Brady. The 2 franchises, I just think that in this game this Saturday, metrics are favoring Buffalo. I can't think of one position on offense and defense that New England's got an edge on. Josh Allen's a better quarterback, and Mac Jones is a rookie. I think the offensive lines are probably pretty even. I might have to give a slight edge to New England for the offensive line. They got the better running team. Although Josh Allen showed us a lot of he got around those 2 linebackers on a 4th-and-1 play, but could have changed the game. The last game that Buffalo won. There were some plays in New England that I thought they were going to make when I was watching the game. They didn't make them, and Bill Belichick was not happy. Or is he ever happy? Anyway, okay, the intangibles. I don't think the coaching staff was as good as New England's, although New England's had some serious brain drain the last few years, too. It's not helping anything. He's got to hang on to Josh Daniels if he can for the offense. My God. And then he's interviewing. Belichick has a hard time keeping his talent. Why not? I mean, why not poach the coaches? All's fair in love and war. The NFL stands for not for long. Okay, you got to produce. If you don't produce, you're gone. That's just the way it is. It is a true meritocracy in most dimensions. In this game here, a lot of people picking Buffalo. They got Buffalo Bills to win the AFC Championship plus 325, the Super Bowl plus 800. That's actually a good number. It was 1,200. People annoyed at this team, the Super Bowl winner in preseason, the Buffalo Bills. New England was an afterthought. They were 7-9. They were at tier 3, just below the cusp before the 4th. 7 tiers, and the fourth tier is the break even. So you got 5, 6, 7 teams up here, and 3, 2, 1 teams down here, and New England was stuck right in that, below that 4. Buffalo was ranked up here at the 7th tier, the top tier, and then they performed like this with a rookie quarterback. Remember that? They got rid of Cam Newton. He's like, I got this Mac Jones guy. I want to try this guy. I know it seems like I'm stalling because it's hard to get the words out. But you want me to pick the winner of this game and who I've got my mind made up on, and the intangibles. I am taking the New England Patriots plus a 4, and I'm also sprinkling something on the money line. I think New England's got a good chance to win this game outright. Now, why the 4 is so important, because if you look at their past history, I saw some 3-point games. I mean, this is like the Baltimore Pittsburgh rivalry where the teams are decided about 3 games, one score, low score game. I mean, and I'm looking for that here. Cold weather, and the cold weather hurts both teams, and most players are from the South and Southwest anyway. But New England that's their personality. Buffalo, not so much. Is that an indoor stadium? I don't know. But I know New England plays outdoors, and I just heard, I was driving home, and they were commenting that Bill Belichick's he had them in the rain and it's cold, and Buffalo got to practice indoors. I heard that. I got to take New England. And Belichick, he's getting his team ready. If they get that look back, when they went on that 7-game tizzy, revive against Houston in the second half, played Dallas toe-to-toe, losing overtime, then I don't think they ever got the ball. Dallas went and tossed and scored a touchdown. They hung a 50 burger on the Jets. The Chargers beat them. They were 3.5-point dogs. Give me Bill Belichick and those points. They destroyed Carolina 24-6 in a game that was worse than what the score indicated. The 45 burger on the Cleveland Browns, this vaunted Cleveland Brown team. Atlanta 25-0. And that's got a good offense. Matty Ryan, Ice is still pretty good. Destroyed Tennessee 36-13. You would think that he's up on Vrabel, the coach of Tennessee. That was his protege, but sometimes you can't stop the hurricane force. And then they beat Buffalo, the 7-game stretch. If they get that look back, if they cut down the penalties, Buffalo's going to do. Let me give you some strategy to show you my heart's in the right place. They're going to stack the line. They're going to stack the box, and they're going to put 9, possibly 10 men on the box, slow down the running game on New England Patriots. And they're going to dare Mac Jones to beat them. I'm going to say, okay, Mac Jones, you rookie, you chump, beat us. So when I'm looking for Mac Jones to come out firing his first few passes. A very uncharacteristic Bill Belichick team. But he did it in a Charger playoff game a few years ago. I'm telling you, I've been watching New England for many, many years. Bill Belichick has got some unpredictability about him. Remember that 4th and 2 he tried against the Colts that time against Peyton Manning? He didn't make it. He makes it, they win the game. He's got some gamble in him. I mean, I can't remember a New England team ever going having 6 4th down attempts in a competitive game. But they did it against Buffalo. They did it. Because Buffalo's going for on 4th down. I mean, the stakes are so high. Teams are going for on 4th down. They really are. They know they got to win. They might not get the ball back. Buffalo is going to fall for the trap, and they're going to stack the box and dare Mac Jones to beat him. Well, he's not going to really try to beat him at first. He's setting up the run. And then when they finally get, they might sack Mac Jones, or they might pick him off in the first quarter and make it look like the momentum's swinging the other way. I'm not saying they're deliberately giving up the ball. Josh Allen played almost a perfect game. Can he do it twice in a row? Okay, I'm saying he can't. Vegas is saying he can't. That's why the line's only 4. Now, they beat him by 12 last time, right? Why is the line only 4? It's a good question. I make up my own lines, and I shouldn't tell the customer, the viewers this, but I make my own lines up in my own power rankings. I'll watch other people, but what I say for me works for me. And I had Buffalo minus 5.5. I thought, we're only 4.5. Okay, it wasn't far off. It almost looks to me like Vegas wants you to take Buffalo. Oh, Mac Jones is a rookie. Rookies don't win playoff games. Well, you know what? I'm here to tell you. Yeah, they do. I think Russell Wilson was the last one in 2012 to do it, but I think Sean King for Tampa won 2 games in a row back in the day. I think Ben Roethlisberger won 2. I have to look. I'm pretty sure Ben Roethlisberger was a rookie when he won a couple of games, and the New England Patriots got him in the AFC Championship game at Pittsburgh. The money management. Watch my last video. I'm taking the New England Patriots. And upset here. They're not even a better team, but they got Bill Belichick and the Intangibles. They're going to run the ball. Buffalo strategy, with all the drama, with all the uncertainty with New England's questionable and probable players, They probably have. I'm not sure they even have a good game plan. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'll take that back. I'm sure Buffalo's going to be ready, and Buffalo's going to try to win the game in their home. They have shown some unexplainable glitches that New England didn't show. Okay, and even when New England was getting trounced 20-0 by it, and they were the game looked so one side. I thought, my God, I got this team. I got this team. I lost them on my soup simulator, and I'm bragging everybody how New England's going to do all this and go to the Super Bowl. And that very next game, they laid an egg, but they came back valiantly, and they had a chance to win that game. They had a chance to beat those Colts, the red hot Colts, hottest team in football at the time. I think Bill Belichick is the man. So thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, subscribe. He knows how to get his team ready to play most of the time. I just think he's just a pure winner. I like winners. Okay, I like coaches. Jimmy. Look at the people I always talk about and brag about: Mike Ditka, Jimmy Johnson, Bill Belichick. Those kind of coaches. In the old days, it was Vince Lombardi. To a degree, Don Shula. I thought Tom Coughlin was an awesome coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I think he kept taking tired teams to the playoffs, and he couldn't figure out Tennessee that one year. The only team he lost them 3 times. They beat everybody else. They couldn't beat the Titans. I mean, he's too hard. He can be hard to deal with. And Jacksonville hired him back to a manager, and he got the team in trouble with the OTAs. And he lied to some of the players and coaches, said that it's mandatory. When one player got on the phone and said, "You know what, I need to heal," and I don't know if it was the quarterback or not. They're not saying. Sure enough, they found out that they're not mandatory. And he told another player, that player told the coach went to the head coach, and what? And they called Khan behind Coughlin's back, and Khan said, "I want him gone. That's it." I mean, he didn't care how good Coughlin, how many Super Bowls he won with the Giants. I know I'm going overboard with this video, but I can't stress enough that and it's not a gut feeling. I don't like to do gut feelings. I mean, you hear handicappers. I used to do this too. I know Cincinnati Bengals going to win this game, or I know the Oakland Raiders are going to win this game. I know the Rams are going to win this game, and they get trounced. You can't go by just your gut. You got to have some kind of reasoning. You got to have some reasons. And I told you what New England, they're going to run the ball. It's going to be cold. It might be a little more windy than it is now. Buffalo has no answer for that running game if they get it going. And then Bill Belichick's going to set up Mac Jones, this rookie quarterback that he's going to be a caretaker at best. Okay, and Josh Allen's full throttle. He can audible. I'm sure he's got freedom to do whatever he wants to do, and he's good enough to do that. He's reached that level. I've told you, Josh Allen's a likable guy. I think he's a good quarterback. He's good for the NFL. I'm taking New England Patriots. Stay tuned for the next video. Money management. Stay within your means. Entertainment only. I love my country. Always ready to be an American. Don't forget my pictures that are not here anymore. The Beatles, Muhammad Ali, and Ken Norton. My America poster. They'll be back in a different format, trust me. Thank you, and have a great day.